Hello again and welcome to Python Tips. So today we'll be looking at another popular library used for visualization. This library is called Seaborn, which is still built under the library we saw yesterday, Matplotlib. Um, it is very powerful because it simplifies complex plots as box plot, heat maps, and so on, and can also automatically handle grouping and coloring by categorical variables. That's why this library is very important when it comes to visualization. Much more powerful than the matplotlib that we saw earlier. So before we get to Seaborn, the data set we'll be using to demonstrate that is this the Irish data set. You can download this from the UCI machine learning repository. I did mention this when I was treating pandas. I downloaded data set as the cancer data set for demonstration. So you can also get this data set from this website. So let's get back. So when you download that data set, make sure that you save that data set in same location with this Python script that you will be running. So the first thing we need to do is to import this library that we are going to do, and then we load that data set. Normally when you download it, it doesn't have columns, so you need to get these column names and then do pd.read underscore. You pass in the name of that data in form of a string. You give the names for the columns, and then header is equals to none, and then we can always do dot head to see how the data looks like. So let's say we want to just do line plot. We saw this yesterday. We can do line plot by just using matplotlib. This is not difficult. You can just do that and then we do our plotting. So also we can do bar plots here. By first thing we need to do is I want to look at this septal learn mean grouped by what the different species for this Irish different species for the Irish. So you can read more about this data set and understand what these species mean. So if I want to get these septal length group by, that's the mean group by the species, I can just do group by species and then septal length dot mean, and then I can do a bar plot for that. You can always do this in color it the way you want. So another plot that we can do is a scattered plot. So this time around, we saw how to do a scattered plot yesterday using the matplotlib. So with Seaborn, it gives us a lot of flexibility. Let's say I want to do a scatter plot where the x-axis is the separ length and then the y-axis is the separ width. Then I want to color it by what? By the different species. So I would do sn dot scattered plot, and then I'll do the data name, which is the Irish. I'll give it the X label, which is a column in that data set, and then the Y, which is another column in that data set. So here I want to do color it by what? By the species, the different Irish species. So I'm passing this here simply says that okay, do a scatter plot, but I want it to be grouped by what? By these different species. Having when you do this, it's going to give these different species different colors. So we see that when we run this here, it is actually giving us a scattered plot, and then with the different species, we have the Irish Setosa, we have what? The Irish Versicolor, and all the different, the last one, which is the Irish what? Virginica. So that is why Seaborn is very powerful as compared to the matplotlib we saw earlier. You can do different plots, grouping it by the different species. We'll see this more when we are doing classification problems. And a good example of a classification problem is classifying these different Irish types into what? These different categories. Also, we can do a box plot using Seaborn. So we just do sns dot box plot. We give it that data set name. I want to do a box plot where the x-axis will be grouping those different Irish categories, and then I want the y-axis to be what? The petal length. So I want a box plot of petal length, but I want it grouped by what? By the different species. So Seaborn is very powerful when it comes to doing such plots. So if I run this, I'm going to be having this kind of plot. Also, let's say I want a histogram. You can also do histograms with, whether matplotlib or whether Seaborn. So here, let's just say we are demonstrating this with the case of getting the histogram for the petal length. Now we know how to extract the column. We're given the bin size, and then the color for that histogram. We can give the H color. The H color here simply tells you the bars, how you want the bars to look like. I want those bars to be what? In black. Then I want the distribution for this petal length to be in what? To be in orange. So you see we are having this box plot. Like yesterday, if I keep running this box plot, it won't change because it is a data set that is already saved. And so the distribution will be same. So guys, that is it for today. And then tomorrow we will be looking at working on the project as I did mention earlier, where we are going to scrape data from a website. It is more like text mining, and do some, some visualization as this. For those of you that are very interested in, doing text mining, tomorrow will be a lesson is for you guys. Please keep following for more. Thank you so much.